Welcome to Outlaw Woodworking. Today is scrap day. We don't know what to do or what to make, so we go out to this wood pile out here. And I remembered that I had some spalted maple scraps from when I did one of the epoxy tables, river tables. And they're pretty bad pieces. They're pretty junky, but I thought, now I'll bring them into the shop and see if I can make something out of them. And I spread them all out and kind of take a look. So I ripped down 3/4 inch. I just start slicing up all this junk maple into 3/4 slices. And some of it was pretty rough. Like it, it was really some scrap wood. But it is maple. And so I rip it down to 3/4 by 3/4 and just get as many pieces as I think I need to make a cutting board. And I wanted to make a decent size one, but the pieces were pretty rough, and they ended up pretty small. So there's what I ended up with right there, and I glued all that up. This maple is called spalt. I believe it's spalted maple. It colors it's really nice when you put some finish on it. So I glue all these up. Yeah, at this point I still think I'm going to make a cutting board out of all these pieces. I thought I would glue them into these 3 different sections, and then I thought the next day I would glue them all together and make a big cutting board. You know, some odd shaped cutting board. So after I do that, the next day I start ripping this one section on the joiner, and I'm kind of looking at it and I'm thinking, you know, I should make some coasters. And I remembered my wife asking for coasters one time, and it just sounded boring. But I looked at the size of these, and I thought I could make some nice little coasters out of these little maple pieces. And so I go on the bandsaw and I start cutting out these circles. Now, these are pretty thick. They're the 3/4 inch, and usually coasters are a lot thinner. So I thought that I could cut these in half on the bandsaw, but it didn't work. I ended up messing up my blade on that bandsaw because it grabbed it and it spun it like a wheel, and the blade still works, but I think I hurt it a little bit, and I was kind of bummed about that because it's an expensive carbide blade that I just put on there not too long ago. Anyway, I cut all these circles, 5 of them, and yeah, it's just some maple, spalted maple coasters is what I ended up making. And yeah, so far it was fun. Kept me busy, something to do, and hopefully someone will be happy I made them some coasters. Anyway, after I cut these, and I'm staying outside of the pencil mark. I try to just go as close to the pencil mark, but leaving the pencil mark there. That way I can always sand a little bit up to it, and then I don't lose it. And then I take it over to the router, and I do a half round on both sides of all 5 pieces. Tried to give you some different angles there. I love my router table. So after I router all these, both sides, I think that was the piece right there that I tried to cut it in half, and it ripped it out of my hands and almost broke the bandsaw blade. So I finish routering. Then I take it over to the rigid sander. I love my new sander. It's been really a lot of help. Worth every penny. And I start sanding all the edges of these little coasters. It's funny, even though, like right now, I'm calling these things coasters. After I was I'm editing this video, and I'm looking at those little round circles, and I'm thinking, you know, I could make my nephew a wooden dump truck and use those as the wheels. So you never know, you might see those in the future on a little dump truck or something. Anyway, I sand the edges, and then I put on the belt sander and sand the flat part of these. This has been a great addition to the shop, this little rigid sander. It's sure a lot of help. It's nice to have some good tools too. So after I get them all sanded, I decide that I'm just going to use Watco oil on these things. I'm not going to get carried away with polyurethane or epoxy or anything like that. I'm just going to oil these, and it really brought out the color of the spalted maple, and it looked pretty good. And pretty, nothing fancy, just some simple little coasters, and kept me busy for a little while. So all good. It's too bad that one has that slice in it though. But it kind of cut it and rolled it around, and I decided just to keep it. But you can do, it's amazing. You can do anything. I just went out and grabbed some scrap out of the pile and put these little coasters together. And yeah, of course they might end up wheels lit down the road, but right now we'll call them coasters. Thanks for watching Outlaw Woodworking. I don't know if these things will stay coasters, but yeah, kind of some nice little rustic coasters. I actually thought about turning them into some wheels for a little Tonka truck for my nephew, which you never know, I might do that. But anyway, thank you for watching Outlaw Woodworking, and I'll see you next time. Please subscribe, like the video, ring the bell, and have a nice evening. Later.